Hey, Muchina Kele, Abrala, hey, I'll be the very Ahamadike, Biafra, Ahamadike, Biafra, Ahamadike, Biafra, Biafra, Penu. I don't talk him before. No one here. When I come block on here, I say no one here. No problem. When the war start, we go up who be who? Biafrans. How many times did I call you? You don't want to listen. I say boycott every churches that is against freedom. Boycott every food from the Fulani herdsmen. Boycott every onions from the Boko Haram. Boycott anything that come from the north. When we say that no one more will go, they don't want to leave us where we go. But they want to carry their food to poison us. Go punish them. I said I'm going to boycott. Anyone going to bring that? I'm telling them for Igbo land, Biafra land. Boycott all their food. Not eat their food. I don't talk about boycott. Dangote product. Anything we bring. Now right, one thing I'll kill you. It won't put you under subjection. Don't listen to them. Nobody their food. Nobody their cement. Nobody their chicken. Nobody their anything. I tell you, if you try, don't punish you. Now they're hungry. Now that in the hungry. Let's not forget. Make an answer now one question. Jumama and Emeka. Make an answer me this question very carefully. Land did not finish for Sabah. Land did not finish for Wele. Land did not finish for Ramana. Land did not put Putako. Land did not have. Why not they deceive and say only Yoruba land and Hausa land and I go build the whole match when I go get in the whole world. Now guys are worried now. When are they crazy? But God forgive you now. Make them come back home. I don't talk about. I say boycott every food from Hausa. Boycott their kuli, boycott their suya, boycott their sugar cane. You don't look at it, say no one here. One day, I tell you one day, very, very soon, they will roast human being like a suya, give you for me to go to my Hausa, go this one I limit. I don't talk about. No one listen. Take time. Biafrans. Boycott anything that has to do with the Hausa Fulani herdsmen, Boko Haram, all their products. Nalai. I said Nalai, yo. They want to take and kill you. They want to take your land, invade your house and sleep with your women. They're not dangerous. So anything that has to do with them. Remember, Boko, when I say Boko, is say when I say Boko, is say when I say Boko, is say Fulani herdsmen. They are better of self-haters. So all of them in the same children. Our brothers and sisters, they know they look back for a kilo, they chop human being like suya. That's how I did not tell you. Any Igbo man, any Biafra man, where they investment for North, for Kanu, for Sokoto, for Meduguri, Taraba, any way you get investment. Say I come back home, die no day. They won't kill you. Boycott anything that has to do with Hausa. They are dangerous. Not so I do not tell you. They say they be get man, not take them more. They say they do pedicure, they do manicure, they won't clean your leg, they won't clean your house. No grill, they won't kill you, they go chop you. Not only that one, including their food and their products and anything that has to do with them. Anything where one consign them, not them. Not only that one, if you not say they for Lagos, if they go to the Baba church, if they waste your time, carry your time, they pay, they throw your money up and down. Sell the whole property where you go there. Go back home. They don't want you, you know what listen. If when they are able to say, the people where they bring on this message in the Biafra Referendum Media Group worldwide under the leadership of Mazen and the kind of Ahmadike Biafra one of Biafra land. Thank you, Kemesia.
Mr. Producer.
All we need is freedom. All we need is freedom. All we need is freedom. It's not about us to be together.
Allow me to worship on behalf of the entire family listening right across the length and breadth of this very planet. All of you who are ordained, all of you who are destined to perform wonders, I welcome all of you. Now, I will present you to Chukwu in heaven. Therefore, our Father who resideth in heavens above, looking down upon the pain and the suffering of your children, as was foretold by those who has gone before us, that a day will come when the world will gang up, when all the children of darkness will congregate to prevail against your children. That time is now. We are in pain, we are in so much suffering that man cannot begin to comprehend it. We ask for your mercy. We ask for you to come and present and provide a way where there is none. We ask you to put it down, we can make our name and do what we need. We call upon you this evening. The vultures are congregating, the saboteurs are rising up. We are beginning to identify them, and we are dealing with them. We ask you to give us the strength. We ask you for courage. We ask you for every ounce of determination and resilience. Make us as hard as steel, as only you can do. Baptize us in your word, in your knowledge, in your truthfulness, and in your strength. Make it impossible for our enemies to come close to us. Destroy them before they come very close. We will be tempted, of course. Our defenses will be tried without a shadow of a doubt. Sometimes there will be breaches, but in the end we prevail, because that is your word and that is your promise. This evening we hold on resolutely to that very command of yours. Your own spoken word. The word that you gave to your children when you said to them that they should not worship any idol, they should not bow before any graven image. We have made mistakes in our lives. We have bowed before European idols. We have done everything but worship you in truth and honesty. But now, having realized the errors of our ways, we present ourselves before you, that you may do with us as you please. So it was prayed thousands of years ago. That same prayer will re-echo, because we are nothing without you. We are nothing without you. We can have the best defenses in the whole world. We can procure the finest anti-jamming equipment available. But it is you that will defend your inheritance. You will defend Biafra. You know that we are honest and truthful people. You know that we preach this gospel in the knowledge that your children must be free in the land of the living. That they may go back and worship you in Zion as they have done thousands of years ago. This is our prayer, now and always, because we are your children. You can't abandon us to the forces of evil and darkness. That is not your will, and it can never be. That is why today, tomorrow, and always, as you have called us to undertake this very monumental and epic task, as you have determined that your word must be preached in the land, that very land you gave to our ancestors thousands of years ago, so shall it be done in our lifetime. Allow us to be worthy to serve you. Allow us to be considered worthy to serve you. You know we speak the truth. Our enemies are liars. They are cheats and they are killers. They are bloodthirsty bastards, all of them. All of them bow. They have brought their lies to bear upon all their dealings. Their tongue is very spiteful against those of them who are righteous before your sight. Please don't allow shame to befall your children. Don't allow shame to befall your name, because we answer your name, we bear your name. That is why today we make this very prayer in the sure knowledge that Biafra will be restored as your own kingdom upon the face of the earth. That will be worshipped every blessed day of our lives, as our children will do, and so will their children. Until time everlasting we have prayed in your name. He said.
Good morning, great Biafrans, wonderful people, beautiful people. I welcome you this morning once again. Of course, today being the 14th day of May 2019, and the time standing here at 10:33 a.m. in the morning, here in the Holy Land of Israel, Tel Aviv to be precise. Of course, from Tel Aviv in Israel, we are reaching humanity across the globe, especially motherland Biafra. the land we love and cherish, Biafra land, the land that flows with milk and honey. We welcome you this morning once again to this great broadcast. Of course, it is great because whatever Biafrans are involved in is absolutely great. There is no doubt about it. And of course, this morning we will gather once again on this platform because this is where we worship. Radio Biafra, a university like none other. Radio Biafra, definitely the best. Radio Biafra, definitely the first and the last. Of course, you can take it to the bank, it will cash out. I welcome you this morning. My name is Mazi Ikechukwu Onoha. I hail from Omowa in Olo. Olo is in Imo province of Biafra land. And this morning I will be your servant once again, serving the indigenous people of Biafra in my own capacity as Onyenezere Biafrosi. And it is a calling which we take pride in doing, because nothing can supersede working for the children of the God Most High. And this morning we have come because this is not a task that I will do alone. It is a task that all of us must come together and fulfill. Therefore, I'm inviting you, Biafrans, wherever you are. Wherever you are hearing the sound of my voice on Rokari Beya, as I have invited you this morning, I want you as well to begin to invite others. Invite your friends, invite your families, invite your well-wishers. Of course, you need to invite your enemies. Your enemies are welcome. They need to come and hear the gospel according to the restoration of the sovereign state of Biafra. 30th of May, that is the word on the street. Nothing more, nothing else. 30th of May, because gallant heroes of ours must be honored and they must be remembered. And therefore this morning, once again, there is nothing to talk about. There is nothing to do except 30th of May. But of course then, our fasting and prayer, of course, which started yesterday, is ongoing. And this morning, once again, I will call upon our evangelist very soon to come up to pray. Evangelist Ozako is standing by. But of course, when we have said our opening prayer here in the studio, I will call her up and she will lead us in a prayer, because we need prayers in everything we do, especially in the struggle of the restoration of Biafra. We cannot do it alone without heaven backing us up. Therefore, this morning, once again, we are going to collaborate with the heavens so that Chukwu Kikabiama will give us Biafra. All right, let me welcome you once again if you are hearing the sound of my voice, and in case you are wondering what is going on, this is Radio Biafra. And trust me when I tell you, this is Biafrarising, and we are definitely on breakfast this morning, and this is how we are coming out.
We are here to ensure that the death of 3.5 million people is not forgotten.
This is Radio Biafra East. We are on breakfast, and Biafra is rising.
The reason why we exist is to ensure that their memory, that they can never ever be forgotten, that their memory will linger on forever, that as long as man walks this earth, this world will remember the 3.5 million people that they killed, men and women that did nothing, children that were innocent. Their only crime is to be blessed by God. That is the only crime they have committed. And those children were being slaughtered as they were being stabbed to death by a cruel world spearheaded by a Awolowo. Everybody looked on and did nothing. Instead of them to help us, they ensured that our absolute blockade from land, air and sea was absolute, that we may die, that the children of God may die. But lo and behold, Chukwabiyama determined that we cannot die, that we cannot perish.
This is Radio Biafra East. We are on breakfast, and Biafra is rising.
In the land of nations, and the time of sorrows, the destiny of a great nation rested on the shoulder of a young man. His name, Mazi Nnamdi. His name, Mazi Nnamdi.
Alright, we welcome you back. Of course, it is Radio Biafra Middle East coming to you this morning live and direct, that you can be rest assured. It is not recorded, it is live, it is direct. And of course, from the Holy Land of Israel, Tel Aviv, to be precise, this is where we are reaching humanity across the four corners of the earth this morning. Therefore, I plead with you this morning once again to begin to invite others. If you are watching us on Facebook, I please ask you and encourage you to begin to share it and begin to invite others, because this gospel must be preached to the entirety of humanity. Alright, without wasting time, we need to pray and commit this program to the hand of Chukwoki Kabiama. And of course, after our prayer, I will invite our evangelist Ozako, who is standing by for me this morning, so that she can take us through. As I told you earlier on, we are in a mood of fasting and prayer, which we started yesterday, and we are still continuing. Let us pray. Father, we thank you this morning. We bless your name. We worship you, Ancient of Days. We worship you, Elohim. There is none like unto thee, Onyekerowa. We ask you, everlasting Father, this morning to take all the glory, to take all the honor. We have come before your throne of grace. We have come to the throne of your mercy. Each and every time we come up on this radio, Father, we come to worship. Each and every time we gather as a people on this platform, it is but nothing to glorify your name. That is all we do, and we have come once again this morning to do the needful. And we'll pray and ask you, everlasting Father, as we are approaching 30th of May, to remember the blood of our people that were wasted, our people that were slaughtered for no just good reason. Father, we say, let the sacrifice that our people have made time immemorial, historically, be the price to pay for us to gain our nation Biafra. That their death, oh God, will not be in vain. That their blood, everlasting Father, will not be in vain. We pray that you restore our nation Biafra. We'll pray and yearn for a place that we will call our own, a place that we will gather on the mounts and worship Elohim. And that place, oh God, that we yearn and pray for is the land of Biafra. We pray for our leader Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. We pray for his deputy Mazi Uchemefo and all the principal officers and all those who are working assiduously to ensure that Biafra is restored. Father, we give you all the praise. We pray for Biafrans all around the world, wherever they may be this morning. We pray for your protections upon their life. Father, everlasting King of glory, that you continue to protect our people from the hands of the evil men of the Fulanis, and those that follow them, and those that encourage them, and those that support them. Oh God, deliver us from all evil. Deliver us from the hands of our enemies. Let our enemies, oh God, fall before our presence. Father, that we will excel and march into that holy land, that land that flows with milk and honey, the land of Biafra. Father, this and more we pray this morning. This and more we ask of you, and we believe that you have answered, because we pray in the name of Chukwoki Kabiama. He said, good morning once again, great Biafrans. Of course, this is yet another day Chukwoki Kabiama have made, and we have gathered once again this morning. As I told you earlier on, without wasting any of our time, I will go straight to our evangelist, who is already on the line with me. And after the prayers, I will bring in, of course, our brother from Ipob, of course from Iwocha. He will be taking us through this morning on another expose, which we have continued doing on this platform, because as I told you, this is countdown to 30th of May, and we will continue doing so until 30th of May. And our brother also is standing by, but for now, let us go to our evangelist who is standing by. Good morning from here. Can you hear me, evangelist?
Good morning, sir. I can hear.
Please go ahead, dear friends are listening. Go ahead, dear friends are listening.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening and good night to some of you, depending on your time zone. All Ipob members and Biafrans, lovers of Biafrans, lovers of freedom fighters all over the world. We have gathered again today, the 14th day of May 2019, to continue in the second day of our fasting and prayer prior to 30th of May, which is our Heroes Day. And this morning, we continue with our theme of the prayer, which says, let the cry of Biafrans, both living and dead, come unto thee, O God our Father. And the text of the theme are taken from Genesis chapter 4 verse 10b and Psalm 102 verse 1. This morning in day 2 we have the first prayer point, which I am going to take now. Another person will take the second prayer point in the evening. The first prayer point says that the memory of dead Biafrans will come unto God for vengeance. That the memory of dead Biafrans will come unto God for vengeance. And the scriptures we are to use are Isaiah chapter 26 from verse 13 to 21, and then Nahum chapter 1 verses 2 to 9. I go straight to the scriptures this morning. I will cut it short because of our time on the radio, because we are on air. Later you can read the scriptures that we have today. I begin with Genesis chapter 4, where our theme is taken from. And verse 10b says, your brother's blood cries out to me from the ground. The blood of Biafrans will cry out unto God this morning, and from this time to the 30th of May, their blood will cry unto Chukwokikabiama for vengeance. And according to Isaiah chapter 26, from verse 13 to 21, and I said I will cut it short. I will not read all of them. So it says from verse 19, but your dead will live. I am reading from NIV. But your dead will live. Their bodies will rise. You who dwell in the dust, wake up. Your dew is like the dew of the morning. The earth will give birth to her death. Go, my people, enter your rooms and shut the doors behind you. Hide yourself from a little while until the wrath of the Lord passed by. See, the Lord is coming out of his dwelling to punish the people of the earth for their sin. The earth will disclose the blood shed upon her. She will conceal her slave no longer. And I go straight to Nahum chapter 1. We are supposed to read from 2 to 9. But I will just take 2 and 3. You can read the rest later. He said, the Lord is a jealous and avenging God. The Lord takes vengeance is filled with wrath. The Lord takes vengeance on on his enemies and maintains his wrath against his enemies. The Lord is slow to anger and great in power. The Lord will not leave the guilty unpunished. His way is in the whirlwind and the storm, and clouds are the dust of his feet. And this is the word of the Lord this morning. For the blood of Biafrans who are slain all over the face of the earth to cry unto the Lord. And I plead with you, wherever you are now, to join us as we pray. Ikariri hai sinibu chukwa jama. Ikariri hai na bogi o. Ikariri hai sinibu kwere kwameya. Ikariri hai na bogi o. Jehovah ni Jehovah. Imarama o. Ikariri hai sinibu chukwa jama Jehovah. Papi marama o. Ikariri hai na bogi o. You're bigger than what people say. Jehovah, you're bigger than what we call you. You're bigger than what people say. Chukwabiama, you're bigger than what people say. Jehovah, you are good. Papa, you are kind. You're bigger than what people say. Chukwabiama, you are good. Daddy, you are kind. You're bigger than what we call you. We have confidence in you. Chukwabiama, we have confidence in you. Anytime, anywhere, dear friends, have confidence in you. Jehovah, we have confidence in you. Jehovah, we have confidence in you. Anytime, anywhere, dear friends, have confidence in you. Confidence in you. Every day of my life, I feel we have confidence in you. Oh, Jehovah, Eternal King of Glory, Chukwokikabia, the mighty man of war, the God that has never lost in any battle and will never lose any battle. You are the unchanging changer. Who can stand before you, Lord? What power can challenge you? You said that any gods that did not create heaven and earth, even those gods shall perish before you. Because you are the one that says and it cometh to pass. You are the one that make way where there is no way. You are the one that told Pharaoh that you are the mighty God. Oh God, your name is Jehovah. Who is that God that I may fear him? Father, you showed him that you are God, the creator of heaven and earth, and everything that is beneath the earth. Both thrones, both kingdoms, both powers, both principalities, that you are the one that created them, and they will all bow before you. you, and they will all fear you, and they will all tremble before you. Just a finger you raised, and Pharaoh was swallowed up in the Red Sea. When Nebuchadnezzar challenged you, Father, you showed him that you were God who decided what will happen in the provinces that he thought he was ruling. Nebuchadnezzar know over his dead body. Can that small boy imagine that they can get right in Nigeria? Papa, you showed him the way to the grave. Our father getting Kaiga up. When Belshazzar decided to mock you with all the silver and gold cups that his father captured from Israel, Father, you just set a finger. Who wrote Mene Teke Ufasi? That his kingdom has been numbered and finished. That same night he was killed, slaughtered in the house of his God. His God was not able to protect him. So this morning, we Ipob members all over the face of the earth, and Biafra and lovers of Biafra, we have come before you. According to your word in Isaiah chapter 26, you said that we shall wake up all the blood of Biafra slain, that they will stand before you and cry unto you today for vengeance. And your word is yea and amen. You have never failed in your word. You have never in any way disappointed your people, and you cannot disappoint. So we call on the blood of Biafra massacred from the 1945 that they started the genocide to this moment. Those massacred in Biafra land, at Ipob, at Onitsha, at Asaba, at Iguacha, at Bayelsa, at Aba, at Owerri, and all the clans that make up Biafra, both in the upland and in the coastal regions. We wake up their blood. Let the blood of Biafra massacre the Biafra land. Let them rise now. We call upon you to rise according to the word of God. He said that no blood shall no longer be hidden again. That they will rise and that the earth will open. That the blood of Biafra killed in every part of the world will rise now. We call upon the blood of Biafrans massacred in all the 36 states of the zoo, the contraction called Nigeria, including the federal capital. We wake them up now. All the blood of Biafrans massacred in all the nations of the earth, because it is written in Isaiah chapter 26 verse 21 that the earth, oh ye earth, according to Jeremiah 22, hear the voice of the word of God, that I will release the blood of Biafrans massacred in you, hidden inside you. Let the earth release the blood of Biafrans, for they will stand before Biafra now to cry for vengeance against you. For the Lord has said, this day and this time of the generation of Biafra, to avenge the blood that you have slain. Beginning with the British, the Nigeria contraction, Karibo, Kariba, Karaba, Yeke, Riba, Yakaraba, For it is time for vengeance by Chukwuokikabiama, the mighty God of war, the mighty God in battle, the Lord that saith what will happen. He said his wrath will not be turned away, that he will come as a whirlwind against Nigeria, that has slain his people, over 3.5 million. He said that the guilty will not go unpunished. And this is the time for punishment of the Zoo nation Nigeria and all the allied nations that have ganged up to massacre. Even those who are trading with our people, they are cutting their kidneys and their livers and selling them and dumping them into the ground. Let the ground open now in South Africa, in Libya, in all the nations of the world, where they are trading with our people's blood. Let the earth open and release the blood of Biafra wherever they are now, upon the surface of the earth, that they will stand before Chukwuokikabiama for vengeance and for judgment. Wherever they are, we wake them up. We wake up, even the blood of the children, even those who were in the womb, and they slit open the pregnant women and brought out the kids inside them and smashed them on the ground. Let their blood rise up. Let their blood rise up. Let their blood rise up before Chukwuokikabiama this morning, from today to the 30th of May, that they will be speaking continually without stopping, non-stop. And they will cry for vengeance against Nigeria, for her time of doom has come. For the time of doom of the tyrant Jubril at Asorok has come. Chukwuokikabiama, the hour has come. Who can battle with the Lord? Who can battle with Chukwuokikabiama? Who can battle with you, Lord? I say nobody. Oh. Who can battle with you, Lord? Who can battle with our God? Who can battle with our God? We say nobody. Oh. We say no power. We say no demon. We say no principality. We say no throne. We say no kingdoms. We say no nations. No nation can stand before you, Chukwuokikabiama. We Biafrans, Ipob members, led by our supreme leader, Nnamdi Kanu, we stand before you with our leader, Nnamdi Kanu, on the lead, and we hand over to you the blood of Biafrans massacred in all over the face of the earth. We hand them over before you to avenge their blood. Avenge their blood. As they are crying before you now, both young and old, even the fetus, those that were still in the womb, and they were massacred. Their blood we are handing over to you now, through our supreme leader, Nnamdi Kanu, for vengeance, that I will avenge their blood upon Nigeria, that I will avenge their blood. I even forgot those who were massacred at Abaru when they went to kill our leader, whom you have chosen. Father, when the king has gone unpunished, you said no, that they will not go unpunished. That even though that you are slow to anger, you are powerful. The hour has come for their visitation, for their judgment, for vengeance upon them. That as many as they are, wherever they come from, whatever title they answer, that your judgment, like whirlwind that you said, will go forth now against them, that none of them will live after 30th of May, that you will destroy them, that you will massacre them as they massacred your people, and you bring their nation to naught. That is your word in Isaiah chapter 26 and in Nahum chapter 1 to 9. You said that those nations who destroyed your people, that you have reason to destroy them, and that their names will be forgotten on the face of the earth. The name of Nigeria will cease to exist. And you used our supreme leader, the prophet that you sent, to say it. Nigeria will not wipe away. For you will restore Biafra, your own nation, by your mighty hand. You said it's because of your name's sake that we answer. That because of your name that we have chosen above every other God, that you will rise to restore Biafra. And this morning, our supreme leader, our deputy leader, Mazu Chemefo, the members of the directorate, all the principal officers, all IPOB members, from the continental level to the national level, to the state level, to the zonal level, to the local government level, to the unit level, both man and woman, both boy and girl, even the children, that we Biafrans have come to table this request that you ask us to make. For you said we shall come and reason together with you. That is why we are here. That we present the blood of the slain before you today, according to your word, according to your precept, according to your instruction. We do that. That vengeance which belongeth unto you will be dished out from today, the 14th day of May 2019 onwards. That no nation will be able to touch us any longer. That no power will be able to touch Biafrans again. Call them the Boko Harams, call them the Fulani herdsmen, wherever they are, as you destroy 185,000 of Assyrians that gathered to destroy your people in Judah, so will you destroy all the Boko Harams, all the Fulani herdsmen, all the Meete Allah, whatever they call themselves, their Majiris, that full Biafra land. And make Nigeria a sorry state from today. We know that only you can do it. And we thank you because we know you have answered our prayer. We hand over our supreme leader, Mazin Namdekanu, before you. Any hand that touches him will wither. Any eye that looks at him in evil way will go blind. Any mouth that speaks against him will be dumb. Any ear that wants to hear evil against Mazin Nandi Kanu, we go there. Let your fire, the wall of fire, be built round about him, that nobody will be able to near him. That he will take that which you have given him, the command to restore Biafra, and you will use him to do it, and all glory will return to you. We give you thanks, Chukwokika, because we know you have answered us. In your name, Chukwokika, we have prayed. Thank you, my son.
Thank you very much.
For giving me the opportunity to do that which Chukwokika asked me to do. You continue to be blessed. Biafrans are blessed already, and Biafra is here, and nobody can stop it. Thank you, and remain blessed.
You too. Thank you very much. All right, thank you very much. And of course, that was our Evangelist Ozako. She is a woman that has been praying for Biafra. I tell you, I got to know this woman in 2017, and ever since then, she has never stopped. Ever since then, she has been doing the needful. She has been doing what God asked her to do. I mean, she is not our mate. She is an elderly mother, but of course, she is still still strong, even stronger than most of us who are younger. And we pray this morning that Chukwokika must continue to renew her age, that Chukwokika must make her to age gracefully, that Chukwokika must make Evangelist Agnes Wokike to live long to see Biafra. And this and more we pray this morning in the name of Chukwokika Biama. This is Radio Biafra Middle East, and of course we are live, we are direct, and you can be rest assured that Biafra is rising this morning.
This is my song for freedom. They call me Chris Jockey. Even though I walk through the valley of shadow of death, I fear no evil, for still God is always with me. He's always with me. My brothers will be coming home. We made it through the sun to come. We gave our blood to redeem our land, and the time is too late. So journey, let us get it now. For happiness we all rejoice. Cause we are the children of God. I'm talking about a holy land, where God will always reign, and the sun will shine again. So we the people rejoice, when no one will tell me that my song is suicidal, that I will lose my life for singing the song, where there is freedom must be. This time therefore we remind us that we are children of the Most High God. In Jerusalem we meet again,
sure, yeah. Cause we all got possessed, and the spirit is in me. My director will be follow, yeah. Show us love we used to do before. Beautiful faces I will see again, yeah. We need you, we miss you, and we wait on you. And the sun will rise. My brothers will be coming home, yeah. We made it through the tunnels to home. We gave our blood to redeem our life, and the time is too late. So join me, let us get it on. Our happiness we all the choice. Cause we are the children of God. It's another Savior. It's another Savior.
This song is dedicated to the victims of this genocide. Those who lost their lives from 1967 to this very moment.
I had to do this song with you, my brother man, I don't believe you. Shake a man to the beat, yo. My brother man, listen up. Tell that Biafra soldier that it's gonna be alright. I need to tell that Biafra soldier that it's gonna be alright. Follow me, tell that Biafra soldier that it's gonna be alright.
nation, Biafra land. Na na na, what a wicked move. I want a junior, another day, Biafrans, sword by the government. Because of our freedom, we are fighting for a better life. One thing I know, forward ever, backward ever. We will one day have a day, someday, sometime soon. Tell that Biafra soldier that it's gonna be alright. I need to tell that Biafra soldier that it's gonna be alright. Follow me, tell that Biafra soldier that it's gonna be alright. Follow me, tell that Biafra soldier that it's gonna be alright. Tell that Biafra soldier it's gonna be alright. Follow me, tell the wounded it's gonna be alright. Little children with no father and mother, I say it's gonna be alright. Pregnant women that they kill them, it's gonna be alright. Oh.
As long as their Biafra is still living, we will make sure that their memories live on.
Rest in peace, our junior, Jamaica, Imota, Chinedu, Oche, Subechi, Mamoni, Teka, Oxman, Oleka, Nkiru, Waka, rest in peace, all of you.
Abụrụ m niile nwere ụlọ Biafra Freedom Fighters niile kwere n'oge gara aga site n'ike nke Chukwu Okike abịa ma nọrọ ihe nyere nna nna ka letere bụ eze bụ shedo nwa n'akụkụ si ka mkpụrụ ha siri ka na ndokwa ise ekorole mụ tatietime abịakwala ọzọ. Hey! Shedo ezegbu kwubokwu anụrụ m olu na ndị kanụ ka ọ na-asị nkwubokwu shedo ike agwụla gị ime mfere onye kwubokwu anụrụ m olu ụmụ Biafra ka ọ na-asị nkwubokwu onye ọbụla ike agwụla n'ime mfere jajilekele mere nna dị gara na ụmụ Biafra atụla n'ezu atọla ha n'ezu zọọ jiga na Republic of Nigeria atọla ha nna dị gara atọla ha ime amụ ụkwụ na amasị ya parapara aka na-eme ha chacha anya na-eme ha afafọ ego ha na-agwụ chilekele tatetment dade ka anyị remember ndị awụrụla agha ndị arụrụ agha ọgụ ndị kwere ndị kwere ịbụrụ n'ime onye Igbo ịbụrụ onye Biafra o rere omume tatetment 2019 ka a ga-apụta a silent day for all our fallen heroes ndị nwụrụ n'oge agha ndị alụrụ ọgụ ọgụ sitere ọgụ ọgụ na-agbanyeghị na ị ga-akwa slevu don ịma ihe ị na-eme ma ihe na-eme nke ị na-amazi ọnadị ka ị ga-apụta n'igwe ka anyị nwere silent day for our fallen heroes ka anyị mara ma mkpụrụ ndị niile nwụrụ anwụ ga-ebilite n'ụlọ ya ọgụ ka Biafra nwee ike inwe isi ọnwụ ya ka ọnwụ ya Daddy, now about a super day. Carry your family. If you know what you get as an investment, carry another day. Job with your family, no come off for her. Job day for your house, they eat your body. Nothing go do you. Nobody go fight. They decrease. Zoological Republic, you don't go fit do anything. As long as say, you put an io to Kulu. Yeah, we're not target me. That day, over Saturday, over Brode, over Wiside, over Edika Iko Day, one them, that day, target me. I got an indoor for the recognition of the fallen heroes of Biafra. I got a second man, everyone in Egypt for la gracia. No way. I can't go to Babu Rogo. At all. We shall continue marching forward. Oh, what do you get? One day I got to get Biafra to the water Biafra. Do or die. Biafra must come. We must definitely get Biafra. Do or die. So take it or leave it. We must get Biafra. I am preaching to you in the name of Tugo Biafra. Biafra must surely come. He said. In fact, they were a mentor. I like when I take a Zumbaga, if you are Batala 18. In short, in fact, to go there. Oh, I get many in our own time of my own. And people want to bring that this message now. Mazi, Chidera Isaac, Odogene, National Coordinator. Mazi Chukudo Biuku, Southern Africa Regional Coordinator. And Mazi Innocent Alia, aka Oyoja White, Captain Coordinator. I shadow the professional talkers in Ezekuno, as usual. Support on it, sit at home, 30th May, sit at home day. Respect the debt. Respect the debt. Makarama Nafu came and make a food. It went out everybody's here at Tesoro. Nimonine, all Biafrans, worldwide, anywhere you are. No, sir, you know here, America, anywhere you are. There was the total lockdown of the whole Biafran land on the 30th May 2019 this year. Do not fail it. Akwaka de Kuala, Yakanabala, Lagos. Adapuka de Kuchuma, Kanona, Zumala, and our factory. Nalabana, Akana Kuna, Rich, more covenant with Fulani Esmen, Nasola. Uralandi, whatever it is, one Noga during this year. Amare Magamandi, Bora before Hamanife. Nalewa, Okaria, Canada too much. There was the total lockdown in the whole Biafran land on the 30th May. Take it or leave it. We have said it and so shall it be. Very soon, there was the revolution in Biafran land. Biafra must come to pass. Total shutdown in Igbo land. So shall it be. He said.
This is Radio Biafra Middle East. We are on breakfast, and Biafra is rising. The sun is rising, and Biafra is rising. What are you waiting for? This is Radio Biafra Middle East, and we are on early morning breakfast. Do you know why? Biafra is rising.
All right, welcome back once again. Of course, the sun is rising and Biafra too is rising. And the question is, what are you waiting for? You need to join the moving train. Of course, the moving train is Biafra. 30th of May is upon us. And of course, we must do the needful. All right, without wasting any more time, I need to get my brother Daniel on the line so that this morning he can take us on a journey. Of course, it is countdown here on Radio Biafra Middle East, 30th of May, and we are looking back historically. What has befallen us? What has happened to our family? What has happened to Biafrans all around the world, time immemorial? That is what we are doing here, to uncover our history, uncover who we are, uncover what have happened to us, because knowing your history helps to shape your future. Very, very important. All right, let me see if I have Daniel on the line so that we can do quickly and open our lines once again this morning so that Biafrans all around the world can begin to call upon this platform. After all, this is Radio Biafra and it is your platform, and you are welcome, you are at liberty to call us, but only when our lines are open. All right, let me see if I have Daniel. Daniel, can you hear me?
I can hear you loud and clear, Mazi Chidera. I am here with you.
Mazi Chidera, you have changed my name this morning. That shows how long you've been working with me, Mazi Daniel.
Good morning.
Thank you for the baptism and name, Mazi Chidera. I love that name. All right, we must continue. Mazi Daniel, I welcome you this morning, and of course, Biafrans are listening. Without any waste of time, introduce yourself, and then you tell me what you have for me and Biafrans this morning. Please go ahead.
Yes, Biafrans, good morning from here. I'm your brother, calling you from Igocha right now. I'm a native of Utue de Musong. Utue de Musong is found in the present day Ikolepene local area in Akwa Ibom province. If you are familiar with that very area, that is where I am from. I'm a principal officer here in Iguacha, also serving my people in Akwa Ibom in the capacity that Chuko Kikabiama has made available for me. I'm a deputy zonal coordinator in one of the zones here in Iguacha, and by the grace of God Almighty, I remain your brother, and I will always be your brother until death set us apart. Even beyond that, we will always remain as brothers, we will always remain as comrades. I just want to use this opportunity this morning to reach out to my people, Biafrans all over the world, in the spirit of this 30th of May, mobilizing for the 30th of May, I just want to share a big story of our people, the participation of the people of Akwa Ibom, the people of Ibibio, the people of Anang, the people of Efik, in this great struggle that started even far back before 1967 in order to save motherland. Thank you, Mazi Kechukwu.
All right, Mazi, the floor is yours, and trust me when I tell you, Biafrans are all ears. Please go ahead.
Okay, Mazi Ikechukwu, thank you very much for this very opportunity that you have given to the people of Akwa Ibom, or you have given to me, so that I will be able to share my own little understanding of how our people participated immensely to the survival of Biafra, and how our people stand in solidarity with their brothers in various parts of Biafra land to defend lives, to save each and every one of us. And I would not want to start this story without sharing my own story of how it affected me as a person. Like they say, charity begins at home. My great-grandfather, who happens to be Daniel Lusoro also, was a victim of the calamity that was brought to my grandfather, not great-grandfather, the calamity that was brought to Biafra land as of 1967. It happened that when the war came to Akwa Ibom in Ikorepene precisely, he ordered his wife, because he married two wives, to take the children to Oron. And when they beckoned on him that he should join them to leave, he said no, that there was no way he was going to leave his father's house. There was no way that he was going to leave the place that he had known for the rest of his life and start running, that he was going to stand to fight and defend the property that was left behind to him by his father, that he was not leaving his father's house. And what happened is that in the midst of running, walking from Ikotepene to Oron, traveling when there is no means of transportation, in that kind of chaotic situation, he lost some of his children as a result of starvation. They were not killed by the bullets of the enemies, but rather the war of starvation to make Biafrans to be hungry, food not coming into the land, killed my uncles in that very war, the brothers of my father. And that is not just the only loss that happened on my own side, but rather when the war was over, my parents came back, my father came back with his parent, with his mother, which happens to be my grandmother, but their father and husband and my grandfather was nowhere to be found. So up to this very day, his body was not seen, he has not been seen. So it could be said that it is a case of a missing person, because body was not found and he had not been seen up to this very moment. So this is what we suffered. Not just that he lost his children, but at the end of the day, he had to pay the ultimate price with his life in order to defend his father's house. So this is my own part of the story, to show that each and every one of us, we have one losses or the other during the war that was brought upon us, when we said no more to killing, when we said no more to being subjugated to economic emasculation and other forms of injustice. The war was brought upon us because we said we want to return back to our home, we want to build our own, since we have been rejected in Nigeria. Biafrans never desired war. Never a day did we call for war. When we were killed in 1945, 1955, we were even killed in 1966, we decided, our people decided to return back home, And when they returned back home, the federal troops brought war on us and the genocide began. And today, we thank God Almighty for those who stood firmly, people like my grandfather who stood firmly to defend his father's house, to guide his children, to guide his wife, That is the reason why you are hearing the voice of Mazi Daniel Usoro this very moment. If that step was not taken, I wonder what would have happened to my father. I wonder what would have happened to my uncles, even when some were lost in the wars or died in the war. I wonder if I will be existing, if I will be talking to you this very moment. But thank God, my father stood, my grandfather stood as a hero. He stood to defend his family. That is why I am here again. And that is why on the 30th of May, not even Satan from the pit of hell will stop me from honoring that great man, Daniel Usoro, for that very act, that heroic act that he took. He decided to sacrifice his life that his family would survive. I want to go into details in general in how people participated. It is very good for we all to observe or to know that Akwa Ibom people, outside from the Igbos, indigenous people, Akwa Ibom were one of the people that stood in solidarity. The majority of Akwa Ibomites, the majority of Ibibios, stood shoulder to shoulder with our Igbo brothers to defend the war. Sometimes to defend them, to defend the land, and to fight.
Mazi Daniel, do you need some time? I can take a break and then you recoup yourself. We come back. Or are you okay?
I'm fine.
All right, go ahead, please.
I begin to wonder, I begin to ask myself, what would have happened if other of our brothers had come to understand what was at stake as of that moment, and every one of us fight with unity of purpose, fight with a sense of survival? I believe it would have turned out to be a victorious war on our own side. But we are not looking at the mistakes of the past this very moment. We are not talking about the betrayals of the past this very moment. What we are talking about right now is that every one of us, we had a sad story to tell during the war. Every one of us had losses. That is why we can never be comfortable with the contraption called Nigeria up to this very moment. They have spit on the graves of our fallen heroes. They have abused the essence of their what made them to fight. They are still emasculating us economically. They are still counting us as slaves. We are not seen as anybody even up to this very moment. That is why we have find ourselves in Ipob. When we hear the loud voice crying in the wilderness, the voice of our leader Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, it did not take us a moment, a blink of an eye to identify with that voice, because Biafra is whom we are. So when we hear the voice of our leader, just like a shepherd calling, we did not hesitate to identify with that very voice. And that is why we are find ourselves in this formidable umbrella that is going to lead us home. In Biafra, the Africa did not just die, but the hope for total revolution, the hope for popular sovereignty, political sovereignty that will be led by the people, that very hope was lost in 1967. But we have come to give Africa hope once again. I want to quote a man named Professor Esco Tonyo. Professor Esco Tonyo is a professor of political economy in the Department of UNICA. Far back as 1986, he attended the funeral of Senator Victor Akan, and this was what he had to say. This is what he had to say, Professor Esco Tonyo. He said he gave an account of what happened during the war, and the strangulation is still going on today. It seems that the major political project of Nigerians is to annihilate the people of the East. To annihilate the people of the East. That is the major political project of Nigerians up to this very moment. It is very good to note that this very man, a professor in the political economic department in UNICAL, is still very much alive today, and he stood shoulder to shoulder to defend his fatherland. He was able to tell us, he was able to narrate on that very day what took place, those years, what took place, and how our people were starved to death, and how our people were killed in a very terrible manner. Sometimes the Nigerian soldiers would disguise themselves in Biafran attires, Biafran uniforms, to rape our women, to kill our people in order to send a wrong signal that it is the Biafran people or the Ipob people that are fighting us or that are killing us. This was an error that was spread in some part of Akwa Ibom, that if people like this very man, Escotonyo, did not exist or live to tell the story, maybe we would have believed that story. The massive killings of Easterners in the north, among others, and the total support of the people of Akwa Ibom, the massive killing of the people in the north, the Easterners in the north, led to that the declaration of Biafra, coming back home for looking for our own home states. And each and every one of us as Biafrans, we have to understand that if it was not just the men alone that was involved in this very war, our women, the women of Akwa Ibom, the Ibibio women, they stood to supply the war materials to the men who were at the forefront. Even when they invaded Cross River State to come to Calabar, the women were not left out. They also contributed immensely to the survival of the people and to make sure that we succeed or we experience victory in that very war. It is very good, it is very eminent for each and every one of us to note that just like what Hitler said before the Second World War, that Biafra, that Germany was not defeated but was betrayed. That could be related to what happened in Biafra. We were not defeated, but we were betrayed. We were betrayed by the international communities. We were betrayed by those who were supposed to see the light of the day. We were betrayed by those who were supposed to stand on the truth and make sure truth prevailed as of 1967 to 1970. Like I said earlier before, that the people of Akwa Ibom, the great people of Akwa Ibom, the great people of Efik, the great people of Ibibio, the great people of Ana, they were not left out. They stood shoulder to shoulder to fight till the end of the day. There was a man, this very man, I will not end the story without mentioning the name of this very man. His name was Chief N.U. Akpan. He was the secretary to the Biafran government, an Akwa Ibomite. Chief N.U. Akpan was the secretary, was a great intellectual, and he contributed his intellectual material or property for the administrative and well-being of Biafran nation. There was a man who fought, an Akwa Ibomite that fought. He was the Second World War veteran. His name is Dominic Epo. His hands was amputated. One of his hands was cut off as of 1941 in India. But yet, that did not deter him from standing to defend his people when the war was brought upon us. And he was in charge of youth mobilization right from the grassroots. That was what he did. So it was a kind of there was a sense of belonging. In that war, everybody wanted to contribute their own part. Everybody saw where we were heading to. Everybody saw Biafra as the last hope. Everybody saw Biafra as a star that must not be strangulated, a star that must survive. And irrespective of their deficiencies, they were able to contribute their quotas. It is very good to know that when we were having traffic issues, like in Aba, when the Biafran headquarters was relocated to Aba, our women were also participating as traffic warders, not just cooking in the kitchen to supply food to the men at the war front, but they were serving as traffic warders in order to contribute their own parts to contribute their own part in the war. Just like Frederick Forsyth had said. Just like the first side had said.
All right, Mazi, can you hear me?
Am I coming out clear?
Yes, go ahead. We had a little bit of a digital issue there, but I think you're back again. Please go ahead.
Yeah. So just like the first side had said in one of his books that Ukraine must stand, so are we today as members of IPOB. Be one board.
Mazi, I don't know what is happening there. Mazi, Daddy, can you hear me? All right, it looks like I need to re-establish this call. Mazi Daniel, can you hear me? All right, I need to disengage you and then of course call you back. I am not sure what the problem is, but let's get Daniel back on the line again. It is still Radio Biafra, Middle East. What a touching story. You can never talk about Biafra without shedding tears. No matter how strong you are, no matter how solid you think you are, Biafra story is one of the story that makes you really want to cry. And of course, there is nothing wrong with crying because that is how you express yourself. All right, we must continue. We are having a bit of a problem with Daniela, but of course, I must get him back. Very, very important. I must get him back because he is indeed educating us this morning, and that is what we need because this is Radio Biafra Middle East, and this is Radio Biafra, a university like none other. Master, can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you. There are names of those who are still alive that participated in the war as war veterans. And the good thing is this, that these men are part of IPOB global family. They are not tired of what they saw in 1967. They are still strong to identify with the global family of IPOB and the
unbelievable.
Comes and said that IPOB is not Biafrans in Akwa Ibom are disassociating themselves from IPOB, or Akwa Ibomites are disassociating themselves from IPOB or from the Biafran cause. It is a lie from the pit of hell. One of the names of these very men who are still alive that you can still go and consult is Boniface Udo Idonwapa, Ephraim Benson, 18, Jim Epo, Nathaniel, Anowe, Pirils, Silas Afo, Michael James Ekerete, Emmanuel Abraham Akpan, Okon Stephen Ikono, Emmanuel Ataraedi, Amen Williamson Akpan, Michael Nwankwo Donatus Ede Udose, Richard Ibaha Afia, Udofia Peter Udo Aka, Friday Jonah Akpa, Raymond Ntun Umomana, Dr. Green Ibaha, Ime Ibaha, and nephew Johnson Akpa, Dike Udo Akpa, Sunday Ibaha Okuku, Abraham Rufus Udo, Monday John Akpan, Friday Ezekiel Oyo, Friday Ezekiel Uyo, Sunday Michael, Savior Jeremiah Abiahin, Dixon Akpan Udo, Anekan Obot Mende, and Cosmos Thomas Udo, Boniface Akpan Upong, and Akpan Jimmy Upong. Tomazi Chidera, these are names of some of the able men we have in Akwa Ibom presently who are living heroes to what was experienced in 1967 to 1970, and they are members of Akwa Ibom. They are from Akwa Ibom, and they stood shoulder to shoulder to defend motherland. So on the 30th of May, we have a story, we that are from Akwa Ibom. That is the essence of this presentation this morning. We have a story. we have our losses, and we are definitely going to remember those that fell in 1967, the children that died in 1967, those that were starved in 1967. You know, the policy of Awolowo that starvation is a weapon of war was adopted by Gowon to emasculate, to shrink, and to destroy the people of Biafra. But here we are today, being alive as a result of able men and women that stood to defend motherland. So it is very good for the people, for everyone all over the world to understand that contented of May, Akwa Ibom is not left behind, because we have a story, and we are going to sit at home to have a sober reflection on our losses that we experienced in 1967, and in order for we all to mobilize ourselves, that come this very generation, Biafra must be restored in our time. The lives of those who died, who gave up their lives for us in the war in 1967, the genocidal war that was brought upon us, they would not die in vain. Never will they die in vain. Never will they die in vain. We will continue to remember them. Thank you very much, Mazi Chidera. Thank you very much, Mazi Ikechukwu. Thank you very much for this very wonderful opportunity.
Thank you very much, Mazi Daniel. I really appreciate this, and I really welcome this. May Chukwu Kikabiyama continue to bless you and energize you in the work you are doing for Biafra. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mazi. Thank you very much, Mazi Ikechukwu.
All right, that was Mazi Daniel Osoro, all the way from Iguacha, but a native of Akwa Ibom. For those of you who are saying that our people from Akwa Ibom are not joining Biafra, are not joining IPOB, now this is the answer that you need. Our people in Akwa Ibom, they are alive, they are kicking, they are hardcore, they are resolute, and of course Biafra is rising this morning. All right, without wasting any of your time, I think it is time for us to open our lines this morning, and of course allow Biafrans to begin to call in this morning and express themselves. But of course, before we do that, we need to take a quick break. But when we return from our break, we will go straight to the lines. And of course, once our lines are open, these are the numbers that you will call in order to engage Radio Biafra Middle East. The numbers to call are the following: +972 533 990 485. The number once again is +972 533 990 485, or you can call us on Skype. Our Skype IDs are as follow: Biafrarising Radio Biafra. Biafrarising is one word and Radio Biafra is two words. You can call us because this is your platform, and therefore you are at liberty to call Radio Biafra. Unfortunately, our WhatsApp line has been out for a long time now. Unfortunately, I'm trying my best to get the people who are supposed to make this line to work to do something about it, and hopefully they will hear the voice of reasoning and do what they are supposed to do and do the needful, because Biafrans need that line. They need to call on WhatsApp. Not everybody can afford to call on the normal lines. Our WhatsApp line has been out for over probably 4 months or 5 months now, and of course I am still appealing to those. They can hear me. If you know that you are supposed to make this Radio Biafrarising WhatsApp line to start working, please do the needful, because Biafrans need that WhatsApp line to work again. It is definitely not on my hand. Mazi Ikechukwu, it is not on my hand. There are people who are supposed to make sure that line is working, and they must do the needful. All right, we must continue. Let's take a quick break, and once we return, it will be straight to the open lines here on Biafrarising. Don't go away. We will be right back just after this.
This song is dedicated to the victims of this genocide, those who lost their lives from 1967 to this very moment.
I had to do this song with you, but God, man, enough of the Biafrans, we will fight till the end. See them sabotage, playing cowardice in the corona, but we will win them all. I say we will win them all. Mandekano is the leader. He says it's gonna be alright. It's gonna be alright. Tell that Biafran soldier that it's gonna be alright. I need to tell that Biafran soldier that it's gonna be alright. Follow me, tell that Biafran soldier that it's gonna be alright. Follow me, tell that Biafran soldier that it's gonna be alright. Tell that Biafran soldier it's gonna be alright. Follow me, tell the wounded it's gonna be alright. Tell our mothers, our fathers that it's gonna be alright. Tell our mothers, our fathers that it's gonna be alright. I remember a very good brother man from my nation, Biafra land. Oh na na na, what a wicked move. I want a junior, another day, Biafrans, shot by the government. Because of our freedom, we are fighting for a better life. One thing I know, forward ever, backward ever. We will one day have a good day, someday, sometime soon. Tell that Biafran soldier that it's gonna be alright. I need to tell that Biafran soldier that it's gonna be alright. Follow me, tell that Biafran soldier that it's gonna be alright. Follow me, tell that Biafran soldier that it's gonna be alright. Tell that Biafran soldier it's gonna be alright. Follow me, tell the wounded it's gonna be alright. Little children with no father and mother, I say it's gonna be alright. Pregnant women that they kill them, it's gonna be alright.
As long as their Biafra is still living, we will make sure that their memories live on.
Rest in peace, our junior, Jamaica, Ibota, Chinedu, Oche, Subechi, Mamoni, Teka, Oxman, Oleka, Nkiru, Waka.
Hello.
Rest in peace, all of you.
Hello.
All right, welcome back. Our lines are officially open. Call on the line. I can hear you loud and clear, and Biafrans are listening. Please go ahead.
Biafra Sarai, what you call
Isewa Chineke, welcome to the program.
Yes, so I may your humble servant, Master Chima Joseph, Unyeki.
Ndewo.
Pastor in the Carmona, in Biafra land. So, I love your program this morning.
Thank you very much.
I'm going to go. Yes, I'm going to go in our diary.
By all means.
So, in the buying, I'm going to make you need to Morena. It's to go to Kagama. Yabo Jira Indo, Upana. On the 14th day of May 2019. Iyo mind kumakana on kurbo fidinisi. When I say I to kada makona re kele no jija makodra haya. Niyo mera ebo mu Biafra. Bai wotera nyonye nzapota. Ngoke ngwandi kasura yinpa. Makona wota woti kasura yinpa kalia. Makana mamu goga de momle Jesus to kabya mandarga yepere nyanyo nyendwa mazina mbekano. Onu ne kuora, onu ne kundige mo gindige wo ye kuspene ya be to kana makona re kele. Nangonti nankwa ukodra haya kaya di kode bunambo. Otu aka me ko ni si deputy ai ma duche mo fo ka tu kana magontori me opuya na mataya ale gba toro ni to kiti. Ne kele ko be to ka bia ma ni si on the director of state. dịkasị kwuru na dịkasị nta emechi ụkarị ma lụọ ọgwụ ọgụ n'ụbọchị ọgụ chekwebe ha ọkwụwa na mbata ha ka ọ bụrụ ya gọziri agọzi isi nta maka anyị gara maka dodo Biafra bụ onye napụta anyị, dodo Biafra bụ ebe ndabere anyị, maka na ụlọ bụ ndị na-enye anyị nri mgbe agụụ na-agụ anyị ụtụtụ ochere ya so unu ekweghị ma agụụ gụ anyị gara ekele chi unu ike si na anyị na-anụ olu unu ma anyị nke unu na-agụ iru chitere na anyị gara ekwute na-ezochite ụkarị ma chegobe unu ma dịbụ unu ọtụtụ na-abata unu ụkwere na-abịa n'isi dị na-ahụ Biafra maazị Jọọchị onye ibe ya bụ okere na Chineke ya gọziri ya gọziri mebata agọzie karịa ka esi agọzi ya na mbụ maka na ọ nọ n'ọnụ agụ ụtụtụ echere ya so naanị ya bụ ọgụ na-ezochite ụkarịa ma ya echekwube were nke ewepụchitie onye iro nwoke nwaanyị amafụ ya anya mmụọ mmadụ amafụta ya anya kama na onye gọziri ka ngọzi ka o zote ezinụlọ ya ka m na-ekpere isi uru chara ofuru ofu were ohere na na-aka ekwu ọkachasị na anyị Enugu steeti Biafra land biko anyị kpalite mmanya elu anyị nwike pụta nke mụ dị iche bụ aja afa achọrọ m na dị ihe ụlọ adị prọfesọ rụrụmanụ ihe onye ọbụghị na-abịa ihe ede na anyị ga-ama anyị bụ ndị Enugu nwere ike ịma mgbe anyị ga-anọ marụta maka ịbata na Enugu steeti n'ebe abịa enweta the highest jobless people ịbata na Enugu steeti n'ebe abịa enweta ezinụlọ ụfọdụ ezinụlọ bụ ịfọ na-ego na-ekwusi ha onye na ndị abụje famili m jere famili dị mara ohere ọ na-arịọ nwunye ihe na nlerebi ya na-afụ n'ebe anyị gịnị butere ụlọ nwa na-ekwuwa butere ezigbo ụlọ ọgwụ nwatakịrị adị ma ọnwụlarịa because of money ndị a na-akpọ the giant of Africa ndị a na-akpọ ọba anyị bụ ihe ọbụla ilele maka ego na-ekwusa anyị mana onye ndu anyị maazị Nnamdi Kanu abịama ma ọ lụchitere anyị ọgụ every carry for us to gain back our victory again for us to gain back our glory again and ya na bụ oge ikpeazụ anyị nwere ịchọrọ ma emere lachite azụ ọdụ kọmpani lele n'ọrụ ma na-emere ma ọ karịa dịka ọ dịbụ na mbụ ihe nwere ike ịsa anyị 16 days from today ya bụ onye kọl anyị ya bụ onye kọl anyị ebe na wa pol Enugu steeti ma o witere kwatara n'ọzọ 16 days bụ ya anyị nwere ise ya bụ oku ekpọrọ na ga-ekpọgara gị kpọ 15 years 20 years faịlị ga-akpaga onye nwere onye nche ụtụtụ ochara ya bụrụ na-achọ ọrụ ifere meriri ịgọbere Biafra na n'ihi afụ mmadụ 30 years 40 years jobless ọ gara kwọgara gị kpọ ebe na akpagharị bụ izu onye type of job ma bụ na ka abalị ọnụ ma ị chọrọ ma ya bụ ihe kwụsị only for 16 days ma enwe ike cheta ndị funere nwụrụ anwụ so that you get that job that you are looking for ndị funere nwụrụ anwụ so that you can become somebody in future ndị funere nwụrụ anwụ so that your family can post of 3 square meal a day ndị funere nwụrụ anwụ so that me and you can be somebody in life because ndị ahụ na-ere ndị nta abụghị ezigbo ndụ ịdị ndụ ọ ga-asị gị weta 100 naira n'inwe gị ọbịa bụ ezigbo ndụ kedu ego ụmụ nwaanyị anyị ga-esi alụ ji ndị ahụtara amụta ka ị ga-enye ya asụ ya n'akwụkwọ isoro ha n'akwụkwọ dresị ka ị ga-eji nweta ebe ị gaghị enwe ezigbo ụzọ ebe ị gaghị enwe ezigbo ụlọ ọgwụ ezigbo ụlọ akwụkwọ ezigbo ọkụ ezigbo mmiri ga-abụghị maka nwere onwe anyị anyị akwụ ya ekwupụta wụtat nọmba ọ ga-ekwufere epenentị originality ka kọmata ebe ụlọ na-eme maka na ọsọ ọrụkwọ ọkọ na-ekwu na ya afọ adịrịgo and nothing can stop it ụmụ je na-ekwu n'ụwa nwere ike kwụsị abụ Biafra again Biafra have rise and they have never rise nothing can stop it again ọ bụ mbụ ma anyị bụ ndị ma anyị nwere ike gosiri ngwa ụwa n'ihe anyị na-achọrọ ọdụ anyị mkpa ma 1945 till date ụmụ gaghị efichọrọ iji ọsọ ya but n'oge nkịta mgbe egwu mmadụ egwọ ịnụ mmadụ aga na wụle elu na-egburu mmadụ but ụmụ ndị egburi ka chi na-agwọ ejicha anyị dịka ọkụkọ nwoke ekpere anyị kama ebute abịa ma bụ ọnụ na-ekwu onye na-ekwuru ya ma a gara ekwuru anyị ya chidome ya bụ nke mbụ ma gị bụ gị na ịbata na alụ Nsụka gba anyị mgbe anya m ị ga na-agba gị na alụ Nsụka ma gị na-egbụgo ụfọdụ n'ime anyị ibe anyị ibe agwa na ọma ya sị gị awụsị ibe agwa na alụ Nsụka ba anyị gịnị ma abịa ya adị n'ọmụ ụfọdụ n'ime anyị echerebe gịnị were ọbara ndị Awụsa ga na-eji ọbara ndị Awụsa ga-eso ọbara ndị be anyị ntụkụ bi na-eyi n'efu maka na ndị na mgbe anyị abịa ọgụ ebere gị na-emenwu Maka no get any head at the Marvel. What do you mean? Is it a Pusuka? Is it somewhere like I'm in the local government?
All right, Mazi, summarize for me, please.
Yes, I'm summarizing for you. The one time catching the flag is catching my shot. Is a baby. Yeah, will package me. Let's follow those people who fight for us. Those guys man who died for us. So that we can have a place of food. And the people come and bless everyone as they are honoring to this God. And may almost of us man this team just calling from Musuka Sado in the Carbon. I started in the capacity of local government coordinator. Repay in your lamb, on second repay in your lamb. Where were you carrying the Biafra? Repay in your lamb, repay in your lamb. Where were you carrying the Biafra? Repay in your lamb.
Thank you very much, Mazi. We welcome that, of course. We go into the next caller. Next caller, please, if you can hear me. Biafra is rising.
Good morning.
Good morning from Yawan Chineke.
Yes, thank you for another opportunity. Biafra is rising. Yeah. Mazi, this morning I want to contribute little. First of all, my name is Akuma. My name is Akuma from Ancestral Mohammed.
Akuma, where have you been, my brother? Where have you been? I missed you so much.
I'm there, my brother. I'm there. I'm with you. Got that to connect you now. I don't know. My people is growing. But to connect you now, I find it difficult.
Thank you very much for coming through. Please go ahead.
What I'm saying this morning is that everybody should keep on keeping on. We are almost there. And then we fill out the oil in Biafra and go to different offices to give life. But our leader will go there empty-handed and come back and disgrace them. So what I'm saying is that we must respect Biafra. We must respect Biafra. That place is a sacrifice. We must sit at home. They have killed my people too much. My people, let me talk to my people in the language they will understand better.
By all means, go ahead.
Yeah, yes, I make a little Mamikano, to me, what I try to look around. So you know, go ahead and so that's what I have for now, Magic till I come back to you again.
Thank you very much.
All I should do in Biafra land.
They're watching again. All right, thank you very much for that. And of course, we welcome that. It is still Radio Biafra Middle East. And I can tell you right here, right now, on our lines are officially open. There is this young man that used to call Radio Biafra Hello Motherland all the way from South Africa from 2017. And I haven't heard from him in a while. He is indeed a hardcore. His name is Oche Biafra. Oche Biafra. I am really looking for this man. If you know Oche Biafra, tell him that Mazike Chukwu misses him and he wants him to call Radio Biafra Middle East. Oche Biafra. This is one family. This is Ipob. And of course, we must look after one another. So Oche Biafra, if you are hearing my voice, you are missed dearly. All right, we must continue. Once again, Radio Biafra, it is, and our platforms are all open. You can call us on our normal line. You can also call us direct on Skype. We are open. We are live. We are direct. My goodness me. Okike, he is in control. Call on the line. Can you hear me? If you can hear me, trust me, Biafra is rising.
Yeah, well, Biafra is rising, my brother.
Welcome to the program. Please go ahead.
Good talk, my brother.
Good afternoon from here.
Good talk, Biafra is rising.
He said,
my brother. And I come from Old country. That's our state. My brother,
he said,
last year, my last my direct this is happening. And she, I got most years old time. I got more than money. Someone I need a support for our brother. For this at home. Oh, that's it. My brother, what is the Biafra only are you with it to Lobodo one? Because when Nigeria water, my brother, two are those things. But our Africa every morning 5 o'clock. Ozoma because Ozoma they no church with Ozoma our leader Namdekan with Ondo Biafra. Why don't you even hear Ozoma in the morning? Early in the morning, this man is the go. Now why Ozoma? My brother spoke to that I go soon. Oh, I to be able to look at him. I get me. Ulusa in Rona, 1 week, I know you're not buying. Can you go to do food? How you want that? My brother, food was the only. I don't know.
They want you to all right, we must continue. All right, thank you for that. And of course, we are moving ahead. Next caller on the line. Can you hear me? Biafra is rising. Next caller on the line.
Biafra is rising. Magic, good morning to you. Biafra is rising.
They want Chineke. Please go ahead.
Thank you very much. Good morning, fellow Biafra.
Mazi, go ahead.
The blessing of Kikabiyama continues to guide every one of us.
Yes, sir.
Mazi, what I want to say this morning is that what is at hand this time around is sit at home. And we are urging all Biafrans and friends of Biafrans all over Biafran land to observe this sit at home. We have to be obedient to this instruction given to us. That is our own benefit. And for those of you that is also being stubborn to disobey this instruction, we are urging you to withdraw because there is a consequence for you to be disobedient to the order of sit at home. It simply means that you don't like the freedom of Biafra, at the same time that you support the intimidation and discrimination that we are receiving in our own land. That's exactly what it means.
Mazia is still there. All right, it appears I have lost our brother. Please do call us back. Next call on the line. Can you hear me?
Hello, good morning.
Good morning from here. Please, Pastor Jack, I know you are holding on Skype. I will come to you. Go ahead, my brother.
My name is Joseph Biafra. I am from Orumba. It is the Orumba province in Biafra land. I am calling you from Bayern, my own Germany.
Welcome to the program.
My brother, thank you very much. I thank you for your beautiful work. Thank you very much for your work.
Thank you very much.
My contribution goes like this, my brother. I am contributing and telling our people the ones that are faithful to work up. Because if you see now what is going on in that view called Nigeria, it's something they have given these criminals, these terrorists, 100 billion naira. They give them this money to go buy more equipment, to go buy more tools, more equipment, weapons. You know, why are they using it to kill Biafra? They are coming. I am calling on Biafra, anywhere you are, wake up, go and join Ipob. Well, get our IPOB so that we know what to do with these people. And this work for us. And we get our country restored back. And for our May SACROSANCT, we must obey. It's what we must do. It is never our hero. The whole country do it. Even this environment, we do it. You know? So our own will not be different. You know? We thank everyone, the genuine Biafra, we sabotage. My prayer for them is, as we are having this hero day, And we are working all the spirit of Biafra, all the spirit of Biafra that have died because of this cause. We fight and kill all these saboteurs, to kill them in Yahushua's name, I pray. Now I am greeting my leader. Who are the ministry of Hawan or Biafra land, the Mazin Namo and all the principal officers that are working assiduously to make sure that we restore our sovereignty, which is Biafra, the kingdom of Muslim, the garden of freedom in this earth is Biafra land, and it's our doorstep. So Biafra, welcome. I greet you, may God bless you all over the world. God bless Biafra all over the world.
Thank you very much.
And thank you.
All right, thank you very much. And of course, I go to Skype, Pastor. I'm Jack. Can you hear me? And thank you for waiting.
Yes, good morning from here.
Good morning from here. Good afternoon. Please go ahead.
All right. Biafra is rising.
Yes, sir.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, my fellow Biafra. Wherever you are listening from this very moment. My name is Pastor Jack. I'm calling from Lagos this morning, but I am from Umo. Umo is in Mbisi Autonomous Community. Mbisi is in Ohaji, and Ohaji is in Imo Province, and Imo is Biafra land. First of all, I want to give God thanks, who has made this day reality once again. The lost glory is being restored back. I want to thank God for our leader, Mazi Nnamdi. There is no doubt he's a servant of God who is being sent on errand by God to come and deliver his people. I want to thank the deputy, that same person who God kept there to be a support, even when the enemy wanted to destroy what we are doing. But God says no. That was why God placed him there. I want to thank the Directorate of State. They are doing wonderfully and marvelously well. I want to thank every members of ITLB, wherever you are. My message, as always, this morning is simple. 30th of May is what we must observe. Every nation has what we call commemoration day in their life. Every nation, every ethnic, all over the world, all over, they have this specified day to remember their own. So our case is not going to be different. And also, those people whose case cannot be compared to our own case. We lost over 3 points. That was the below estimation. Now, if you make certain research, you see some points, you see 5 million, you see approximately 9 million. So these are the people who are talking about. The people that paid, when we say they pay the utmost price, without these people defending our land, trying to see that they survive, there wouldn't have been anything called Biafra today. There wouldn't have been anything called you and I. But I want you to understand that if, for instance, God forbid, you lost a dear person today, you will go nowhere. So we have lost more than what is called dear person at point in time. So it is these people we want to remember. They can't just die like that after dying for us in order for us to live. And we'll just wave them aside. No. We have to remember them. So I want to plead to the conscience of every conscious indigenous person all over the world, especially in Biafra land, both in Lagos here, in every area. That 30th of May, I think being Thursday, whatsoever you are doing, I want to plead with you to totally shut down. And whatever you don't get a day, you cannot get it for many years. It is very, very important because the Biafra we are pursuing, we are going to get it. Forget about the Funefus, those who are distracting them, don't distract us. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how many, it doesn't matter how the zoo government fragments them in order to bring down what we are doing. But be rest assured that God has fashioned this struggle. Many years ago, you never knew it was going to take this shape. But today, look at where we are. And the same way we are going to see us restore Biafra. So I want to plead with you, and it's not just because I'm pleading with you, it's the right thing to do. That every business should be shut down. Whatsoever it is, be it ministry, be it bank, be it school. Please, total showdown. People of Lagos media, I'm also pleading with you to do a very good work. That our people, both in trade fair, computer village, all of them, Isolo, Oshodo, all of them to be shut down that very day. We have done it before. This is not the first time. But we want to show more commitment in order for the people to actually know that we are going home, because there's nothing that is going to hold us. Because when the time is come, we are going to go home. That is just the truth. It's actually there's an end. But the expectation of the righteous, the Biafra, it shall not be cut short. That is just the only of everything. So please, that very day, make sure you sit at home.
Hello?
I want my contact every day. I wait.
Yes, I can hear you. Go ahead.
Hello. So, like here, over here, I bought a t-shirt. So I want it run back Sunday. Everybody will see it. 30th of May. 30th of May, Remembrance Day. Show the people, be proud. So I want to stop here so that other people can come in. Thank you, Mazi Keshufu. Thank you all my fellow listeners and Biafra. God
thank you very much.
Bless all of us, and we shall see Biafra together.
Yes, sir.
Oh, hey, Biafra.
Oh, hey, Biafra. Thank you very much. And of course, that was our brother, Pastor Jack, all the way from Lagos State. And of course, he is doing the needful there in Lagos, coordinating our people. This is still Radio Biafra Middle East. And of course, our lines are still open. And Biafra is rising this morning. 30th of May, that is what we are talking about this morning, that we must remember those who have paid the ultimate price, those who have died, because it is the right thing to do. It is, of course, the real thing to do. Each and every one of us, it doesn't matter who you are, you have somebody who is related to you, or somebody who is related to somebody who is related to you, who is affected by these brutal killings that happen to our people. Therefore, it concerns all of us, and of course we must remember them. 30th of May is a day that will remain sacrosanct in the life of Biafrans forever. Let us go back to the lines. Call on the line. Can you hear me?
I can hear you very clear and very loud. Mazi Keshufu. Biafra is rising.
It's so much, Chineke. Good morning and welcome to the program.
Thank you very much for doing this very noble work for Biafra. This is Prophet Vincent Iwadike calling from Abakaliki province of Biafra land.
Thank you very much. Please go ahead.
30th of May, a month we are going to remember our heroes and our heroines. Those who fought for us to live, then we cannot forget them. So from this very day, 14th of May 2019, the blood of the Biafrans, both from the 1955 till date, the whole blood being shed by the Nigerian government, Biafran blood shed by the Nigerian government, in any form, shall rise and begin to torment right from the Biafra land, the saboteurs, those in the government, those in the position of authorities, using the Biafra youth as their slaves. They will remain in the politics, trying to use them one way or the other, uselessing our youth, making our youth to be useless and unsuccessful. From this very day, the blood of the innocent Biafrans will begin to torment them one by one. And that 30th May, anybody who may try to disobey the order, because Biafra is a spirit, anybody who may come to block the Biafra or to stop Biafra trying to come out, either to open shop or to go for any social activities, anything, then the spirit of Biafra will strike the person to death. And Biafrans, those who thought they are by the Nigerian side trying to support that they don't want Biafra either by hiding or by being afraid, panicking. Stop panicking, stop being afraid. Biafra is here. We are very much ready to take what belongs to us. And hence the governor of Oyo State have threatened the Biafrans in so many ways. He brought Operation Python that together with that OKC and that of Willow Piano, so many Southeastern governments have dealt with Biafrans in one way or the other. Now they are paying the headsmen to kill Biafrans.
to kill their brothers. No problem. The day is coming. The day is coming. Whatever they did this very end, whatever they commit against their people, they can never go free. They can never go free. They must receive the God punishment. So the way they see that today they will be laughing at us that they have killed us with not retaliate. They put us in prison with not retaliate. They do one thing or the other trying to stop Biafra, but even that of Onyamoto, we soon see what he have done in sabotaging Biafra. He promised that he will continue to sabotage Biafra, and he's doing it till today. He used restructuring. He used now he's using Ipob or one other name, including with that of them, especially the two persons, Dave Umari and William Piano. Sorry, and that of Onyamoto. The two foolish and useless men trying to claim they are the leaders are the most saboteur of the Biafra. But today, for him, right to that of target of May, whatever they see, they will take it because the blood is going to rise against them. So I thank our great leader, Martin Amdekano. I thank our deputy. I thank every principal officer. You, our president, Amazi Kechiku, you have done wonderful work. All of you remain blessed. He
said. Thank you very much for that, and of course we welcome that. I have a caller on Skype, but caller on Skype, if you can give me just a moment, let me see if I can take this call, and of course I will come back to you. Caller on Skype, if I cannot, all right, let me go to you straight. It appears it's not happening. Caller on Skype, if you can help me, good morning from here.
Hello, good morning.
Yes, good morning. Welcome to the program. Biafra is rising.
Thank you. Thank you very much. My name is John Mubiwafo. I'm calling from the Turks and Caicos Island.
Good morning.
It has been a long time I spoke on Radio Biafra. I am so happy to get connected today.
You're welcome to the program.
The time now at my place is 5:32 a.m. Sometimes I've been missing this call, but I wake up very early in the morning to be able to connect. Thank God today that I'm connected to this place.
Please go ahead.
I would like to thank you for giving me the opportunity, and I would like to use this opportunity to remember my grandmother and my mother and my people from Eleme who died during the war. I don't know why somebody should oppose this unless you don't love your people. I know that my grandmother suffered for me, my mother suffered for me. They died during the war, not because of anything, but because of starvation. And this is why I have to remember them and observe May 30th. Everybody in Biafra land should do that. No matter where you are, you should observe this silence for the people who died for Biafra. The picture you put on this broadcast this morning speaking a lot about what is happening in Biafra land. See our boys put inside that dirty water just because of Biafra, just demonstrating peacefully. They are put inside and the soldiers are surrounding them. This is what our people did. I remember how we ran from Eleme, how we were bombed and all the rest. And my people, my mother was a chief. She packed all we could pack and we went there. We ran from Eleme, but during the war, what killed her was nothing but depression. Depression that she had left all she had because of the starvation put on Biafra by Awolowo and Gowon, and she died. I don't know why she died, because they were sacrificing the little food they have. They were giving it to us, and I'm alive today. Why should I not remember him? Why should I not remember other people who died? There are so many citizens, sons who died during the war because they love Biafra, and all they died. When we returned home after the war, there was a song they used to sing in Element that your mother was expecting you. Where are you? They all died. This is sacrifice that we should honor those people who gave their lives so that we may live. I don't know if you permit me to speak in my dialect.
By all means, go ahead, please.
Thank you very much. John Sila wala mubi wafo me alode. Only to elbe momaro for America. Eta into elbe ewu kolokro lare. No be try by so anyi mo kuleke uri bere bai. Kuleke uri bere bai ko ile mare uri bere bai. Pe uri bere Biafra. No be ku tore bai nyara mo juku ojuku odmo juku enu nasai bebe ko mo ko ile mare utamosa kwankwe. Okwa kwa na table eleni wekra chiche ke bebe ko ongu ni ebara wa do we wekra chuki ke bai we obo je nu na lode no be to ba jo wo Biafra ko emno to Nigeria je no to ba jo won no be no ba jo won ele so that e ka ka po atan na gbe ko ro wa ban we kajure ka ba na enwe kajure ka ba na enwe ko le mo so ma le airu me 30 gebe Ashura ogeta no enwo no dama baire ka toto intete negeta momo na bana nenu negeta momo harese onu esi oka na bana nenu negeta mo only one day 30th of May na nyo ku bento proko ke uri e amana akara beti ogwata si kele nuni obare bele sura yani obare regime shima bele sura.
Mazi, are you still there? Can you hear me? All right, I think we are having a connection problem. You can understand where this man is calling from. Talks and Teko Island. Have you ever heard of that before? Biafrans are everywhere, I can tell you that for sure. I don't know what is going on. Let's see if he will reconnect back. I think it is indeed a bad network affecting this call. But in that respect of everything, I think we must continue. If he comes back, of course, better. If not, we will proceed. It is still Radio Biafra Middle East, and we are taking your calls here on Biafra Rising. 30th of May is the word on everybody's mind. Our history shall not be forgotten. Our heroes shall not be forgotten. Those who have fought gallantly, those who were slaughtered for no good reason, for no justification. We must remember them, because if we don't, trust me, nobody will. All they try to do is to hide our history. They try to hide who we are. They try to hide everything about us. But trust me, we will overcome. All right, let's see who else is on the line. Caller on Skype, can you hear me?
Hello, good morning, Mazi Kechku.
Good morning from here, Maz, and welcome to the program.
Yes, it's Mazi Ugochki Boke from Libreville, Gabon.
They're watching, nigga, please go ahead.
Biafra is rising!
Yes, sir.
I hear Biafra. I want to thank you people for what you people are doing for Biafrans, and I want to greet Biafrans all over the world. May them be courageous and whatever thing they are doing to see that Biafra will be restored. I want to commit our Ahmadi into the hand of God as he is traveling, and as we will be going to America. May Chukwuka Abiyama lead him safely. May him travel. May Chukwuka Abiyama guide and protect him in the name of Chukwuka Abiyama, and all Biafra principal officers. May Chukwuka Abiyama guide and protect them. No weapon of the enemy that fortune against them shall prosper. And I want to encourage our people. 30th of May is sit at home. It's Biafra Day. It's sit at home. Everybody should stay at home, so we remember our people that died, that the genocide that the zoo commit against our people. We must remember them on 30th of May. And you can see what is happening in the zoo. And I want to use this opportunity to tell my friends on in Facebook that Facebook have blocked my account. My name is Gochku Felicity. Facebook blocked me yesterday because they say that I'm sharing Biafra things is against their community standard. Even they say I should not use our 30th May to do my profile. That is why they block me. That is only reason they are giving me that I'm sharing Biafra issue, that I'm using I use Biafra statement as my profile. They block me. They have been restricted me for family weeks now. They block me. So my friends on Facebook should hold on. So thank you all.
Thank you very much.
Let them be courageous. We must continue. Whether Facebook would like it or not,
absolutely.
In the name of
Yes, sir. Thank you very much, my brother. And of course, if you have not been blocked by Facebook, then you need to re-look yourself. You need to check yourself again. Because only hardcores are being blocked. Only those who are really genuine freedom fighters get blocked now and then, get restricted now and then. But if you have never ever been blocked before by Facebook, there is something you're not doing right. Trust me when I tell you, because when you begin to do what you're supposed to do on Facebook, you must be blocked, that's for sure. Alright, we must continue with us to Radio Biafra Middle East. That is where you are. Radio Biafra, a university like none other. Radio Biafra, the first and the last. Alright, let's go back to the line. I think I have a caller on the line. Caller on the line, if you can hear me. Biafra is rising.
My name is Ezra Godwin. My name is Ezra Godwin. I'm calling from Ihaku Ugolafo in the local government state in Biafra land.
Welcome to the program.
I am a part of the sit at home. I'm on 30th of month. 6 days today and 15 days today. And I just moved under my outside. Can I support that? Nyaka to die no nyaka na ni lo nyaka no han ayo. Maka ni me bi that. On do find the wrong maka this is Biafra, this is something. Ya ba ni mo ta te kana yo tin do ma di ke undu bo la ko. Te uni ne ku ka ni ne. Ndu se dia no Biafra ni ne ko no na ta o kuma. Ko ta ja no. Ne abu sit at home. Apa ne ho na. Ki no lo be di ka wa te su wa na ni mo o mo no fight. Never honor and outside the one of they move, they anywhere. Man, the five of this is at home. This is at home. Everyone I met, they be a man, and I don't know what you get. Now, one more home, I cry. No, they also out of out. But look at me now. Couple of nights, I will not have an email sit at home of started. Can you wait? They just come on, I don't know how much this is strong. And the Raya, I met a woman I not outside every teacher. So I put up my emo on the Baya. Could you go for? They may find out what I see of their Adama. I told it of I know nothing so much. Oh no, my supporter. Oh, my supporter. Oh, Nano. Oh, Mano, put up open now. Above your neighbors, above your house, above your table. Macaron as well, Macaron with that for my ego. To go to Adama. The Naka, Nani with a one, they will always go. Oh, they will always go. Oh, I got to move. I got to Adama. I got to Adama. I got to Adama. Oh, one of the people, the matter, that don't have a Biafra person now. Now, our freedom kind of fighting. I have enough fighters now, I know freedom. But I'm moving on Sabu and Pavani, look up to I'm on there. On Sabah, in last week, some are saying about Namara here. That's the flattening woman that the Kasuana Kasuana is in Gulapo. So you have to we'll sit there and talk to you. Now, yes, like a phone call, and I feel also now, yes, getting higher, make it like a good one. All 1 years after our former Matadis Gavaniku, there are times that come, and where I was planning to have to move away, and you will move. Never gonna stop us to move out and to move because I am a giant. I am a super car. Not to work on a man to feel what I can do. I don't know if I know what it is. Because I know you're going to go for now responding now. And I know this is what.
All right, Mazika.
I don't want to go in local government in the Biafra land.
Thank you very much.
Godwin Ezra.
All right, thank you, my brother. All right, we thank our brother for that. You can hear the passion in his heart. Of course, this is not just an ordinary Biafran. This is a hardcore Biafran. He is talking from the heart, and this is the way it should be. When you talk about Biafra, you need to talk about Biafra passionately. You don't need to talk about Biafra like you are just, doing a normal discussion, because what we are doing is spiritual. What we are doing, my goodness me, is heavenly, is divine. That's what Biafra is all about. A divine project from Chukwuokike Abiama. And we are here. We are opportune, privileged to execute this project on this earth. And this is why Biafra must be restored in our own time. And humanity will look back historically and talk about us. Even our children will remember us and be so proud that we are their fathers and mothers. Biafra must rise. All right, I think I have my brother from Talks and Teco Island back on the line. Let us go back to him so that he can finish up and summarize for me. Mazi, summarize for me, please. Go ahead.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I'll just use 1 minute to talk to my people and...
By all means, go ahead.
Kwelema nobra mto miba sila wala mubi wafo ambo yan lode ndo ela bio no be tora ba jo kwe Biafra no be tora ba jo kwe Biafra ya da me ka nasa set Nigeria ka nenu le basai. See how we are treated in Nigeria. Ye elema na agbo mako bre refinery do elema but tama be fe Tomo ba so join one kwe Biafra. Join one kwe Biafra. Join one kwe Biafra. Me bon tu titempa ora bara ba eto ora eto. Na ha gbo ni lo be Nigeria. Wa na enu to yime matake elema ka fiapi ele to yime obara to na de mo ba so malaru. Thank you very much. I've just concluded. I know element has 2 refineries out of 4 refineries. We don't get anything new, anything good from Nigerian government. All we have is pollution, and people are dying. I remember when I did my doctorate thesis, I did it on pollution, the pollution in Eleme land, and I discovered a lot of things that are happening that we don't know. Therefore, Nigeria is killing us, and are using the money to develop the north. God forbid. Oh, hey, Biafra. I am so excited when I hear the name Biafra. I am so excited and so passionate to believe that Biafra will come to stay. Biafra has come to stay and nothing shall stop it. Thank God. Thank you very much this morning.
All right.
For giving me the opportunity.
Thank you very much, my brother. All right, we thank our brother all the way from Talks and Teco Island. I keep on calling that name because I've never heard of it before until our brother come on air and told me there is a place like that. And of course, there is a Biafran in Talks and Teco Island. Hashtag we are everywhere. All right, next caller on the line. If you can hear me, Biafra is rising.
Mazi Ikechukwu, Biafra is rising.
Chineke, Ndeo, welcome to the program.
My name is Mazi Ikechukwu, calling from Aba province, but I hail from Enugu. Naro Nateze, one Naro Nateze. Nara,
Shaharanye.
Shahara, everywhere. But you go come all of them will say, Naya, we are hitting it. You will go to the Afra. You go come on this time. Mazi Ikechukwu Onoha, I thank you so very much for what you are doing for our people. This time, we based on remembering our heroes and heroines. All the destructions we inherited from Nigeria. Since Nigeria come, only thing we inherit is evil, killing, destruction. I can tell you today that before, according to the history I used to hear from my father used to tell me that before the Biafran war, my father's compound was a big compound that was having as a poultry. They train cows, they train pigs, they train different kind of animals that you cannot celebrate anything within Nkano without coming to different ways to buy one thing or the other. But when Hausa people come during their war, they invaded the place and set everything away, burn down everything. All the servants, all the workers in that compound were taken away and killed.
as it is today, I don't see any reason. Even once, as I said the other day, 3 or 4 days ago, when Onyibe was broadcasting, I said that the reason why the politicians, the thieves, the robbers, are trying to tell us not to remember our heroes and heroines is because the blood of those ones they have killed, we are going to rise against them. Someone like Dr. Ipob, someone like Onyo here of Anambra State, the Obiano, there. All of them put together, they have committed in one way or the other, and all of them, when you look at their background, it is called that all of them are corrupt people. They have killed our people in one way or the other for making of money. So they are so much afraid. That's why they are now digging around for us to remember those people they have killed in the name of making money. But go up, come down, we must remember our dead ones. We must honor them. We must invoke their spirit to go against those that their hands in their death. So whatever they are doing in this life, we must, 30th of May is our day. And we must humble ourselves, purify ourselves, even separate ourselves to make sure that all glory goes to Chukwu Abiyama and the honor goes to them because we are to honor them. They have, without them, we find ourselves today. They have died for us and our own duty is to remember them. I thank you very much. As I said before,
thank you very much.
The whole Onkano people, all of them should come up and they honor our heroes and heroes. Wherever you found yourself, don't forget those that died for you, those that shed their blood, today, Yahweh Yeshua, they call Jesus. They are doing this or that every day that they want to remember the death of Jesus, the resurrection of Jesus. We want to see with our eyes, our forefathers, our dead heroes and heroines. They are even the immediate, we shouldn't forget them. The way we do other things, we should always remember them and honor them. So
all right.
Allowing it to continue on earth. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for what you are doing. I thank our holy man that people can look up and down, white and white, look in him, look up him, and they say this man is worthy to come and reach his people out of the contraction called Nigeria. I give glory to Chukwu Abiyama and I give all the thanks to Mazin Namo.
All right.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for that, and of course we welcome that. We must continue. It is Radio Biafra Middle East. There is something I saw, a video I saw on WhatsApp. This video I saw, was the Fulani men with their cattle going inside a school, compound in Biafra land, walking through the school, and children were playing outside. They were scared and they were watching them and they were marching with their cattle. They don't care. Then it occurred to me what those people are doing. It occurred to me what these people are doing. You see, as these children are watching these people, these children are small and they're watching this Fulani with their cattle moving freely in a school. They are actually trying to mess up with the brain and mindset of our children to show them that they are slaves. That Fulanis can do whatever they like. They can go in anywhere they like, because those children know that it is not proper for cattle to come into their school compound. That is why they were scared. But then again, when they look at who are those with the cattle, they see Fulanis. And when they grow with that mentality, we are in trouble, serious trouble. It means that we are going to have children who will be so afraid of the Fulanis. We will have children who will begin to think that the Fulanis are somehow superior and we are inferior, since they can do as they like in our land and they are unstoppable and nobody stops them. As Fulanis are going around killing in Biafra land, our children are watching too, remember. And if they grow with that mindset, what you are seeing today is a child's play. I'm saying what you are seeing today, whereby people are so afraid, people don't want to come out, people don't want to join Ipob, people don't want to do the needful because now they're afraid of the Fulanis and all the stuff. What you are seeing now is nothing. If our children grow with this mentality, as they are seeing right now, Fulanis ravaging, moving freely, killing freely, doing as they like, and nobody stops them, it is going to be detrimental. And that is why we are fighting so hard to ensure that we instill in our children that there is another force to be reckoned with. And that force is Ipob, the indigenous people of Biafra, the keeper of the land. Alright, we must continue Radio Biafra. It is Radio Biafra, a university like none other. Radio Biafra, the voice of the voiceless. Radio Biafra, the first and the last. And we are still taking your calls. We have few minutes to go, probably 5 minutes to go before the end of the show. Let me take one more or two calls and then we will be out of here. And of course we will be back again on Friday to do the needful, because this gospel must be preached across the board. This gospel must be preached from the hill to the top, to the deepest, and of course to the four corners of the earth until Biafra is restored. Until Onyenti Shiri Ano, that Biafra must be restored. Alright, do I have a caller on the line? If you can hear me, Biafra is rising.
Yes, Mazi, Biafra is rising.
The one Chineke, please go ahead and make it short for me because our time is almost up. What is happening? Mazi, are you there? Unbelievable. Looks like something is definitely wrong right there. Can you hear me, Mazi? But do you have your radio on, Mazi? Do you have your radio on or something? I don't know what's going on.
No, I have gotten out of my radio.
That is why you don't do that when you call Radio Biafra. Mazi, please go ahead.
Good morning from Biafra land.
The one Chineke.
Yes, Mazi Oketita from Abakaliki province. Mazi, as usual, I want just to give my little token prayer. I want to pray that all the soldiers that are Biafra soldiers that are killed during Biafra genocide, may they rise in the barracks, may they rise in police station, may they rise and fight back. May they avenge, may avenge for the blood in barracks, in all police stations. The worst one now is that our town has been turned to every checking point. It is uncountless. You will not go from one hand to the other. You will see two checking points or the other, collecting money like few Biafras. I want school Kadama to raise the floor of soldiers of military men of Biafra that have been dying, killed by Nigeria. Army to rise and fight back in the barracks, in the field. Let them fight against themselves. Let this type of men be a successful. And I want to tell my people that this type of food stay indoor. We live in the countries. We will stay indoor that day. We will honor our units. We honor our units. We honor them because they have made their life for us. And that's why we are speaking now, because they fight. If they didn't fight with that day, then I will know what is out there. So I'm attacking them. I want to with my language.
Mazi, make it quick for me, please. Your line is very bad. Your line is terribly bad.
I will make it brief. Because through the family, but catch to me. After Africa, it's called Kadama, Laraya, what we want to do. People are okay from our Abakaliki province. People in the event and this is doing the Lisha. People don't know after the food, wrong to the Christian without that for a calculator that day. Now, I bless you. Let's go, Kadama, bless you. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. Unfortunately, that line is very, very noisy and bad. I don't know why that is the case. Let me go to Skype. Call on Skype. Can you hear me?
Yeah, Mazi, sorry, my phone was on Bluetooth. That was the reason why it was echoing back.
Not a problem.
My name is Ichizoku and I'm calling from Boston. What you just said now is the mindset they wanted to put up for our children to be scared of them.
Absolutely.
For our children to be highly afraid and knowing fully well, or maybe trying to know that they are slaves to the Fulanis. But one thing I can assure them is that the present generation, we will not allow it to get to that level. The present generation of Biafrans, the Ipob of today, will never, never let go. We will make sure that Biafra comes. In fact, we will not die, but Biafra will come.
He said,
we will enter the land of Biafra. Nobody can stop Biafra from coming. The Almighty has destined and sealed, signed and sealed. Okay, signed and sealed. It is signed and sealed that Biafra will come, and nobody, that there is one on this earth that can stop Biafra from coming. Look at Britain. Britain is already falling apart. In fact, they don't know what they are messing with. They are messing with the land of the They are messing with the land of our fathers. They don't know. We have reason to make sure that Biafra comes, and Biafra will come. Man, I know that your time is fast spent, and I'll let you go. Thank you, and God bless you.
Thank you very much, Mazi Chiesioku, and of course I welcome that all the way from Boston. And what a way to close this program. What a way to bring this program to an end. It has been indeed a fruitful one, and we thank Biafrans all around the world. Without you, it wouldn't have been what it is, but you have made this program what it is. But I need to take this last call just from Motherland. I love Motherland. Let me take this call from Biafra land and then we close. Caller, please. You are the last caller. You are the last caller. I wanted to close, but I can't resist it. This is Motherland. Go ahead, call on the line.
Hello?
Yes, please. That's my name.
Yes. Calling from Evangelist State in Suka.
All right, welcome to the program. You have only 2 minutes to make it count. Go ahead.
So, it's only good is that I'm tired of becoming one Nigerian. I am tired because what I'm seeing is too much one Nigerian. As a Biafran, we are living as one Nigerian of the slave. So I have stayed in a part of North where they maltreated me and took away all my properties. All what I labored in North, they took it away, all because I'm a Biafran. So I have searched about the history. Since ever we have fought the war, then we have seen that I have never recorded any Igbo man to become any president, and that is why they are using that to cover their people. In North, I see so many local governments, but when you come to our eastern part, in fact, one state we don't have local government, we have states. Nothing is working. The outside is dominating everywhere. And then we see align. We see Fulani in Africa like this. People is the only source of where we are living. Forgetting, 30th May, I'm hoping to bring as many. In fact, I will go to every look and corner to search to my fellow Biafran citizens for them to sit at home and respect our dear heroes. Those who have fought about this thing that they do not succeed.
All right. Thank you very much, Mazi. All right, your line is going now. And of course, let's leave it there. This is where we are going to leave it. The lines are still busy. Biafrans are calling. But unfortunately, we can only take, this much call for today. But we are back again on Friday because the countdown still continues. On Friday, I want to do something special because it is a Memorial Day for our lovely sister and comrade, Waka Waka Chimobi. Of course, all of us know her. She is somebody who is so dearly to me, so dearly to me. I cannot forget Waka Waka Chimobi. And of course, Friday, as they are doing her memorial back in her hometown, we are going to also honor her here on the studio in Biafrarising. She used to be one of my co-hosts while I was in Motherland, South Africa. Chimobi, how can I forget? The first show I hosted with Chimobi was when our leader was released from, was actually granted bail in Abuja High Court. That was the first program I hosted with Chimobi, and ever since then our sisterly and brotherly love never got cold. She is somebody that I cannot forget. She was a hardcore, she was a source of inspiration to me and many more Biafrans. Chimobi Waka Waka, I don't say rest in peace, I say soldier on. Soldier on until we restore Biafra, because freedom fighters never rest in peace. Freedom fighters continue to fight until that cause which they died for is accomplished. That is why I don't say rest in peace to a comrade. It's a wrong thing to say. You say to a comrade, soldier on, because they wanted something while they were alive. And if that thing that they wanted is not yet accomplished, how can they rest in peace? The only time they will rest in peace is when Biafra is restored. All the people who have been killed, time immemorial, historically, 3.5 million and counting, how can they rest in peace? You have to restore Biafra for them. We must restore Biafra for them. That is the only time we can come together and say, now you can rest in peace, because it is a job well done. But until then, we keep fighting, we keep pushing, because the target is close. I can see it from here. I can see freedom. I can smell freedom. And of course, until that time, there is no relenting. There is no time for us to slow down. We must keep our foot on the petrol. We must push until Biafra is restored. Thank you, great Biafrans, once again, of course, for joining us this morning. Thank you, everybody who have made this program what it is this morning. I say, may Chukwu Kikabema continue to bless you all. Thank you, our Evangelist Ozako, for the prayers. And thank you, eminent Biafrans all around the world. I want to say, may God continue to bless you all. May God bless our leader, Mazen Namdekano. May God bless his deputy, Mazuchebe, for may God continue to give them wisdom, understanding that they require, because this is a very tedious job. They require the grace of Chukwuki Kabiama and his wisdom in order to achieve this common task. But surely Biafra must be restored in our own time. From me, once again, it is goodbye until I see you on Friday. Goodbye, and God bless Biafra.